All right, it's been a while since I've made a video. I've been busy, I've been doing things, but we're back for now, maybe for a bit, I don't know. We'll see how we go. But thought I'd do a quick Q&A just to get things going and answer any questions you guys might have. First question, what is your video rig at the moment? Okay, good question. So at the moment, the rig that I use the most is this camera right here. And this is the Canon R5. You can see, got the 70-200 long lens on it. I use this camera pretty much for 90% of everything. This is what I use. It's small and it's an absolute beast, okay? Now, I know there's gonna be people in the comments, oh, Sony's better than Canon, or, you know, Canon's the best, or some guy here using Fuji, whatever. You know what? They're all good, okay? So Canon's great, Sony's great, Fuji, I don't know anything. I don't think Fuji's the best. They don't make full frame cameras. I know they got the GFX, but that's for photo, but that's it. Canon or Sony, done for most of the things. Sweet. Okay. So that solves that. Canon R5, main camera for everything, does photo, video, it's a beast. What's the best camera you've worked with? Okay, the best camera that I've worked with, my favorite camera is this one right here. If I want the best of the best that comes with the headaches, this is the Red Komodo, okay? Now it's got this massive screen on it. Also takes really big battery, which I don't have on here. This thing is awesome. Red, if you know Red, you know Red. Red is sick. It's got epic colors, massive resolution. I love shooting Red, but it's, you know, it's heavy, doesn't have as good autofocus. It's really annoying to travel with. I did take this to Iceland and I've taken it overseas once. Really, really annoying, but this is the best video. I think this is better than the Canon, but comes with all the headaches. So, you know, some things are just like that, you know, the fastest cars in the world, they're not necessarily the most reliable cars in the world. I mean, this camera is reliable, but it has a few headaches. It's heavy, but it's sick. I'd recommend it 100%. But if you were to get one camera, get the Canon or a Sony. But Red is definitely probably my best video rig I've got, but don't use it as much as the Canon. Probably should, but you know how it goes. Got the Canon, got the Red, best of both worlds. I just use what's best for the situation. All right, question on diving. Here we go. When you're filming the diving, how often and how many hours of the day are you doing so? Okay, it's a good question. So when I'm filming Sam diving, usually I'll come to a training session of his and I would probably get I'll get all these dives. Now, usually, let's just say he does like 40 dives, 50 dives. That's 40 or 50 clips, right? Which would go to one song, maybe 2 songs per video, and then we would schedule that out days, weeks, sometimes months in advance. So I don't actually shoot a lot of sessions. I might shoot Sam's diving maybe once every 3 to 4 weeks actually, but in that small 3-hour window, we get a lot of videos and then we can just schedule that out, edit them and do all that sort of stuff. And he crushes it. He gets tens, hundreds of millions of views on them. So it's really sick and the dives are awesome. Now, what camera do I use for when I'm filming Olympic diving? Well, I actually most of the time use this, which is obviously the Canon R5 I pretty much use, but I have to use this long lens, which is basically like the 3x, 4x zoom on your iPhone. Now, my ideal situation, if everything was in a perfect ideal world, I'd get as close as I can to Sam when filming him diving, but the problem with that is usually when I'm filming him, there's other divers training. You've also got the coaches that are standing like right in like the best spots and everyone else gets priority over me. So I kind of have to zoom in and snipe in from like another angle, but still shoot it really well. So it can be quite challenging, but you just sort of practice and you get used to it. Yeah, I'd say my biggest tip with filming or anything in general is you want to get as close to them as possible, whether it's whilst filming them or when you've got them on the camera. Just get everything you need in the shot, and everything else you don't need, just crop out. So don't have a big wide shot and then crop in later. Get as close in as you can as possible and get all the crap out of the shot. It's my biggest tip. So if you can't get really close to them and you're really far away from them, zoom in as far as you can, the best quality you can, and you're only doing your best. So yeah, we'll do multiple training sessions once every couple of weeks, and we'll shoot batches and batches of content, which lasts ages. And that's just how we do it. Next question, have you ever been injured while filming? Short answer, no, haven't been injured while filming. It's not really, don't really get injured while filming. Just got to be, if you're jumping off rocks and things like that, you just got to be really, really careful and be smart about it. I've been doing this professionally for about 9 years now. Never had an injury from it, so no. Okay, next question. What are the key challenges in capturing a high quality image of a diver? All right, there's a lot of challenges for this. First of all, the diver, whoever I'm filming, Sam, Brittany, the dive has to be good from them. So they have to deliver by doing a good dive. And then I have to deliver by getting a good shot. Now, as you can imagine, all the challenges with diving, they have to, enter into the water right. They have to take off right. They have to do the whole dive right. We know that that's a massive challenge in itself. But what are the challenges with filming that? It's a good question. As I mentioned before, the first thing that's most important, I think, when filming diving or filming anything is positioning. You want to position yourself in the best spot possible and without getting in the way of important people, and in the best spot that can help you get the best shot for that particular situation. You don't want things getting in your way, maybe the best lighting, the best spot to capture the whole dive. Next challenging thing with diving is, like a lot of sports, diving is very fast. There's a lot of motion and it's quick. And you want to capture that whole motion. You want to get as zoomed in as possible. And because they're moving fast, you've got to pan and follow them. And you don't want them to jump out of your shot and jump out of your frame. So you're kind of battling with yourself with, well, if they're going to be really, really quick, like towards the end of the dive is when they have the most acceleration. It's like you can zoom out just a little bit to allow yourself a little bit more safety room when filming. That's kind of how I think. Or you can kind of stay a little bit tighter and just send it. But all divers are different. Some divers jump higher, some divers jump further out. Some divers have different speeds depending on the dives. No two divers are the same. And so like I filmed Sam a long time, but him and Brittany, who's another diver, them doing the same dives, like they take off at different heights, and sometimes one will jump out further than the other on average. So you just sort of have to be aware of that. And sometimes your muscle memory just goes with what you're used to, but it's really quick. And if you stuff up the shot and they do a good dive and they know you're filming, they're not going to be happy about it because they've lost the shot. So it's really quick. There's also other things that are challenging with diving. You got to get the lighting right. So, if you've got really dodgy lights in a diving facility that you're shooting in, make sure you dial your white balance in right. So if it's really orange, kind of counter that with more blues. And then if it gets really green on their skin tones, counter that with reds. Get the colors looking good. And also stabilization as well. When you're tracking people in the air, you don't want to be shaky. You got to be as still as possible for the whole dive. And just making sure they're in focus. It's so easy sometimes to keep them in focus, and then when they're spinning or mid-air, the autofocus just loses and focuses on the background or something, and then you've ruined the whole shot. So it's keeping all these components, keeping them in frame, focus, lighting, white balance, stabilization, making sure no one's in the way, you position well, you're not in anyone's way, keeping all these components coming together and their dive going well as well, and then you get a really awesome clip. So that's the challenging with filming diving and filming, I guess, other sports and things as well. It's just having as much control as you can without being an obstruction, and having everything come together. And then once it does, and it looks awesome, and then you can edit it up, make it look sick, get the colors looking nice. Boom. Filming is only half the job as well. Editing is another half of it. When you're filming something or taking photos of something, you're going to capture it with the best camera you've got. A lot of the time it's your iPhone, right? But sometimes you might have a cool camera as well. But when you get to the editing side, you can really differentiate yourself from the rest. Get those colors looking really nice. Get a really cool song to it as well. Do a nice edit that's really, really cool. And editing doesn't cost as much as filming, because obviously gear is expensive, but can be hard to learn. And the way that I recommend learning is find what styles you like, what tracks you like, what you think looks epic, and replicate that in your own way, in your own style and flair, and you'll make it look cool. And usually if you think something looks really cool, chances are a lot of like other people think it looks cool as well. So just experiment and see what works for you. But anyway, yeah, I'm looking to make more videos. Maybe I will soon, maybe I won't, I don't know, we'll see how things go. But I probably should hold me accountable to it. But yeah,